Today we're going to create a fire animation. So let's start by creating a new HTML5 canvas. Make my first layer the background. I'm going to import my image. Remember, if your image does not fit your background, to resize it. And then once you're finished, lock your background layer. And then create a new layer to add your fire animation. Since they've not re-implemented the deco tool in Adobe Animate, we're going to switch over to Flash CS6 to create our fire. So once I'm in Flash, I'm going to create a new ActionScript 3.0. Once we're in Flash, we're going to go to the deco tool. And under drawing effect, we're going to go to fire animation. When you create a fire, it starts with a little spark and then builds up to a flame. So I'm going to do 100 frames for my fire animation. If you'd like to change the color, you can choose those here. So I'm going to click once and let it build out my 100 frame animation. So we'll see here that it starts small and then somewhere around 40 to 100 is a full size. So I'm going to take the first approximately 40 frames and I'm going to remove those. So then I should have just one full-size looping animation for my fire. Then I'm going to highlight all my frames and then I'm going to cut them. Then I'm going to go to my library and I'm going to create a new symbol. I'm going to name my symbol fire. It needs to be a movie clip. Then I'm going to paste my frames, and I should have a fire animation. And I'm going to go back to scene 1. Then if I look in my library, I should have my fire. Then I'm going to create a second movie clip for my smoke. This time I'm going to build my animation inside of the movie clip to show you another way of doing it. We're going to go to the deco tool, change to the smoke animation. The smoke takes a little bit longer, so I'm going to do 200 frames. If you're creating it inside the animation, you probably want to start somewhere around the origin, so click and let the smoke build up. Once you've finished your 200 frames, go back to the beginning and use the selection tool to select about the first 100 when it hasn't fully formed yet. I'll remove those frames. Then I'm going to save this file. I'm going to make this my fire library, and then I'm going to save it. Once I have those two symbols in my library, I can close Flash. Now in Animate, I'm going to want to open up my fire library and then switch back to the animation I'm working on. Then I can go over to my library, and instead of selecting Untitled 1, I'm going to go to the fire library file. Here I can select my fire animation and I can drag it onto the screen where I'd like for it to be. If it is not the right size, you can use the free transform tool to resize it to the size you'd like for it to be. I'm going to make this the fire layer, and then I'm going to add a separate layer for the smoke. Again, if you need to resize that, feel free to do so. I usually put my smoke behind my fire, go to color effect, alpha, and bring that down a little bit if you'd like it to be partially transparent. Then if we were to press Control Enter, we would see our animation running. There are a lot of shapes to calculate, so if you get a dialog asking if you want to continue, hit yes. You may have to hit yes on that dialog several times. Once it's running correctly, we can go to Save. We'll name this assignment Fire. Save, File, Publish Settings. Make sure that's in your website Animate folder. Hit Save, hit Publish. This also may take a while to create the files. Once it's finished, we can hit OK. Close and save our document. In Dreamweaver, we will refresh our file list. We'll drag over fire.html, save my index, upload my Animate folder, then check it on our website to make sure that everything is running.